Alright, good for the countdown? I think I see a thumbs up. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is Fire Emblem. Thank you. This is Fire Emblem Awakening. First thing I'm going to do is change up a few settings, so I need to not mess this up. We made it. So first of all, you're going to see a lot of auto battles. That's just going to be for the first 2 chapters, so don't get too used to that. I'll actually be playing the game later. One thing we did change in the settings is we turned slide guides off, which lets us pair up and use the auto function a bit earlier. So we're going to be seeing that a lot. One thing that's important for the first chapter is that I get 1 point of speed, so hopefully that happens. If not, I'll cross my fingers. The reason that we use the auto function is because if you select either Chrom or the avatar, you're going to get an extra text box, and you don't want that to happen. So I got my point in speed, which is nice. We set up the avatar as a female with the that has magic as a strength, or as an asset rather, and luck as a flaw. Normally we choose defense as a flaw, because you just hope that you don't get hit, but in the marathon run it's much safer to use luck. We're going to need a lot of magic, and normally we don't use luck, because luck lowers the chance of you getting a magic level up by 5%. And that's not good. The reason we chose a female, I will talk about later though. Alright, so since I got a point of speed, I can basically double most of the enemies here, so hopefully I'll also get another one, because a couple of them I do need 8 speed for. Never lucky. Oops. So, if you've seen other Fire Emblem games, you might note that the Game Boy Advance ones, for example, are completely manipulated. This one is not. Everything is basically up to luck, so I'm going to play in according to that, but that also means that I might randomly die, which would suck, but can't control that much. I am getting a lot of magic, which is really good. Magic is important for the late game, but also if I have more magic early on, there's a couple of different strats that I can use to speed things up. So we unlock support conversations. We are going to support exactly once in the run. We'll do that later though. Chapter 2 is one of the more risky ones. Basically your avatar is still sort of underleveled, but we want a lot of experience, so we're just going to pair her up and throw her in the middle and hope she doesn't die. The avatar does have a skill that if she's paired up, which she is usually with Chrom, she gains 50% more experience, which is why we're gaining so many levels so fast. It looks like we didn't get hit too much, which is really nice. We have 11 defense, which is super good right now. Oops. Oops. So I'm going to use the Vulnerary even though I'm not low on health. Just because it's a bit safer. But for here, I'm actually going to use it to make sure it's out of my inventory, because it's about as fast to use an item as it is to throw it out. So it just gives me more space in the inventory. And this guy didn't die. Very good. That was a good one. You're going to see me saving after chapters. Normally you wouldn't save because it's an extra 2-3 seconds per chapter, and there's 26 chapters. That's a minute and a half around the entire run. But you can die in this game pretty easily, so I want to play it a bit safe and not die. So we're going to support with Chrom. So the reason we support is after chapter 11, Chrom has a scripted event where he gets married, and he gets married to the person he's the most supported to. So since he has a C rank with Avatar now, they're going to get married later. Isn't that cute?
Right.
Now, I'm mostly focused on using spells, but strength is actually important for 1.5 chapter later on, so it's really good that I'm getting strength as well. It's not just, oops, not just a useless skill. So my tome actually broke on this guy, so it's going to cost me an extra turn, but that's not the end of the world. So one thing that's particular in Awakening is that at some points there are secret sellers that pop up, which are Anna. There's Anna. No. So Anna has a 30% chance of getting an item that we need to continue, and it's very, very rare that that happens. In a marathon run, I'm gonna use a bit of creative liberties, if you want to call it, to get that item. But normally, if you don't get that, you need to restart, and you only have like 3 chances, or at the end of 3 chapters rather, for an Anna to spawn. So it's really, this part of the game is RNG heavy. So this is Marth. We actually don't have enough, there you go. We don't have enough magic to kill Marth, but since Crom still has his sword equipped, he can dual strike, which we got lucky and he did, so Marth is down. This is another chapter we can die easily, but I do have quite a bit of defense, so that wasn't an issue. Alright, I'm actually getting really bad magic level ups, which is unfortunate for later. If I don't end up with enough, there's different things that I can do. I can reclass to level 1 and just get more level ups, and that's gonna be that. So Crom's last useful thing he did was to attack Marth. So we're gonna unequip his sword. He's not gonna be able to dual strike anymore, and he's gonna stay level 1 for the rest of the game. We don't need him. We're still gonna support though, because support bonuses are quite good, and the Avatar does still need the levels. So Rickon actually gets 1 kill. There's a Wyvern Rider up north that comes, and he has a 100% chance of killing him with Maribel as a support, which is pretty nice. And after that, he can just run away. He actually didn't get hit there. Oops. There we go. So I need to equip the Thunder Tome there, or else the boss is going to attack me, and then I'm going to use 2 charges, and then I'll have 1 charge left for this enemy. And if I don't kill the enemy in 1 hit, there are more reinforcements that show up, so had to spend a little time there. Oh, I still have Creep Pass on. That wasted time. Very sad. Alright, so this is the last chapter that we spend as a tactician. And we're also going to hit level 20 here. We do use Frederick and a new unit that we're getting next turn, which is Pan, who's the bunny. And they clean up a bit of the top parts, and the Avatar is just going to go sweep the bottom. I have 19 strength, that's really good for the next chapter. There she is. Oops. So since we can't skip the enemy turns, a lot of the times it's faster to just place your units in front of an enemy, and then the enemy attacks you on their face, since that's completely skipped. Sometimes I'll still do it if they have like a ranged weapon, for example, and they won't, like they'll obviously play it safe and attack at range. Or if they will attack another unit, which sometimes they do. Oh, Fred might die actually, that's... we're improvising. Okay, looks like we're good. Yeah, no, we're good. So we'll attack you, the fighter is going to attack her. Alright. And we're level 20. 18 magic, that's decent. Okay, so we didn't get Anna, so unless I really get a lucky spawn right here, the Dream is dead. No, okay. So instead what we're going to do is go in the wireless awards and We're going to get a second seal there. Normally that's not allowed in the run, but for marathon reasons, we're going to have to go with that. And we are going to reclass. So this is the part where we need the female core. We're going to reclass into a Pegasus Knight. That's going to be important in a bit, but the important part is Pegasus Knights can fly and get more movement, which is really useful. So that's nice. Also, I have a lot of strength, which is going to be nice for this chapter since I'm forced to use a lance, and we're going to save. So this is the last chapter where there's a decent chance that we die here. There are 3 archers. We can kill 2 of them without them attacking us, but one of them can attack us, and archers are super effective against flying units. So the calculation is their attack plus 3 times the power of their bow, which I believe for an iron bow is 6, so they do 18 plus their attack, which is usually around like 7. So that's going to do most of my health, and I don't want that to happen. So we cross our fingers. My defense is pretty good, so I can survive a shot of that. But if I can choose to not get hit, I would like that. I didn't get hit. And we get Church here. She's not useful. Alright, so since we were in range of the boss came to attack us, and then the 2 Wyvern Riders who were far away also came to hit us. And we have a lot of strength, so everything's just gonna run into our lance and die. And that is the chapter. So if you wait too long, there are 3 reinforcements that show up on the left side, which can be a bit of a hassle, but we're fast, so that didn't happen. Okay, there's one thing I cannot forget to do, and that's State of Javelin, which I'm good at forgetting. Oops. Alright. So we get 2 new units, which is Noe and Gregor. We use them to clean up a bit of the units on the top of the map while the Avatar goes down to kill the boss. Okay, so a lot of units are on Noe. There's a very small chance that she dies. The bad thing is that she's going to get 2 level ups instead of 1, but that's not too big of an issue. Yeah, that's fine. So the Avatar hit level 10, and we got a Master Seal, so we're going to reclass right here. That seems like a good spot, into Darkflower. And Darkflower is what we're going to spend the rest of the run as. It's arguably one of the most overpowered units in any Fire Emblem game, because it's a flying unit with magic, and it gets a rather important skill later. And you're fine. And that important skill is going to help us out quite a bit. So that's the whole reason why we choose a female unit. So I got a skill called Relief in the last chapter. That just wastes time. It gives us more health, but it wastes time, so we're gonna unequip it. Oops. As well as unequip. No, I need to. From here on out, either everything is going to kill us in one shot, or nothing's going to kill us, so that skill is really irrelevant. There's Tharja in this chapter. If you're a fan of Tharja, you'll be happy to know that she is very useful to us. And then there's also Libra. So we're hoping that Libra kills the 3 units at the bottom. You can't see the bottom screen, but he is there, I promise you. I'll give you guys hot updates. There you go, there's just El Thundertome. So we auto kill the boss, and then hopefully Libra kills the enemy, and we're good. It's like the game plays itself. In the speaker? Oh, there we go. Nice spot. Fantastic. Anyways, we got a Draco Shield last chapter. We're going to use it now. Get more defense. And we're going to pick up a Seraph Robe, which gives us more health. And then head to the boss. So I still use auto on occasion, and this is one of the times... Oh, actually I'm not going to use it because there's an enemy down there. Usually there's not. But sometimes I use it there. Usually the avatar goes to attack the boss. Sometimes she doesn't, and you just attack a random enemy, and that wastes a turn. And it's very sad. But we're good. This run is actually going quite well right now, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. We just got Olivia, who's our dancer unit, so what she does is she lets us be able to take an extra turn after we're done our first turn. And usually that's not too useful right now, but it's going to let us get a bit more distance with our movement, so we can use it right here, and then go further down than we would have been able to the first time. Oops. Alright, so here's Gangrel. He killed our sister, so we're pretty mad at him. And he's dead. Good job. So I'm actually really low on magic now. I almost didn't one-shot him, which is very bad, but we'll survive. So this is another route chapter. The only bad thing is that the thief doesn't attack us. He goes straight for the treasure chests, so we actually have to burn a turn for that, but there's no way to get around it, so that's fine. We get married to Crom. There's a ceremony. We have a baby. Life is good. So here we get introduced to another flying unit. This time we're actually going to use her. She's Shersh, I think. Her name is strangely spelled. But she's going to be useful for a couple of chapters. First of all, she has a hammer, which can hit knights pretty hard. Oh, this guy survived. That's fine. She can hit knights pretty hard, which is nice. She attacks 4 on this chapter, and then 2 chapters from now. Okay, usually this guy doesn't survive, so this might change things up a bit. We are really over-leveled right now as far as units go, which is quite nice, but when things don't go as expected, it's not always a good thing. I think we'll be fine, though. 1, 2... Oops. We might have an extra turn, actually, but that's not the end of the world. It's a couple of seconds lost. Oh, I'm out of magic. Okay. Well, that's awkward. So I'm out of magic. I burned too many with... Actually, I won't stay there. So I burnt too many since I didn't have enough magic. That's actually never happened before. That's really funny. I've never seen that happen before. Alright, we're all good though. I'm gonna save here. So yeah, not having enough magic means that sometimes you don't one-shot enemies, you two-shot them, which uses more charges from your tomes. So I'm actually gonna need to pick up tomes a chapter early. I'm gonna get Rickin's Elwind tome that he didn't finish using a couple chapters ago, chapter 5. So we need to unequip you. No. Okay. And then store this, Take Elwind. Okay. Still got him though. That's all we need. So as far as story plot points go, this is where Lucina joins us. And the way Lucina works is she gets the last skill that you got, since, spoiler alert, you're the mother. So she's going to get the ability that's Rally Movement, which isn't normally too good, but we're actually going to use it for this chapter in a fairly neat way. So I'm just going to save to make sure that I don't mess this up, because it is possible. Alright, so Lucina's going to come up and rally movement, and then we're going to use Rhetoric to bring the Avatar one step farther, and we can go right to the boss and kill him in one shot. So that's nice. This is a kill boss chapter, so that went decently fast. So for those keeping track, this is normally where you would get the other magic tomes. So I'm going to pick up Henry's Elfire tome since he showed up a bit later. Trade for that. Actually, we're going to use this, drop this and this. And save again. So for the run to quote unquote work, I need to have 38 points in magic. That's funny. Oh my god. So I'm one experience short of being level 15, which is what I would have needed to be for this chapter to work. So we're going to improvise the rest of the chapter. Or, no, we're going to be okay. We're just going to wait here. Normally, so we got a skill called Gale Force. We were one experience point short of getting that the last turn. It's a bit silly. But what Gale Force does is, when you attack an enemy, if you kill that enemy, you get a whole other move. So now I can go and attack this guy from here. So that's pretty useful here since it's a route chapter. It lets us place ourselves in nice places. It's going to be really useful in Defeat Bosses chapter, or chapters rather. So anyways, again, kill boss, and then we're able to move again. So one of the enemies down here is going to give us a Arc Thunder tome, which is one of the most powerful tomes. It's the most powerful at this point of the game. It's going to serve us quite well, so we're just going to wait here. So actually, there are calculations for a bunch of things to make sure that you have enough attack to kill bosses and whatnot. There's one boss coming up that I'm not sure I'm going to be able to kill. So if that doesn't happen, and the boss doesn't die, I'm going to come up with something on the spot, so keep your fingers crossed. We need Olivia. So Gale Force is pretty good on its own, but if we have Olivia, we can extend our movement just a bit more. So we move the Avatar, bring Olivia up, and then Gale Force all the way to the boss. I should be okay with 34 magic. I'm really hoping. So if I don't have enough magic, the worry isn't that the Avatar dies, it's actually that Frederick dies. Because we're one movement short to be able to hit the boss on our own, so we do a bit of a funny strat here, which I'll get to in a sec. By the way, I didn't explain this earlier, but the reason we pair up Frederick is that he is +1 to movement, which serves us in a lot of chapters. Oops. Okay, so we're 1 point short of getting to the boss, so what we can do is switch and then separate, and then the Avatar gets pushed 1 square forward. And Frederick died. Alright, so I don't have enough magic, which is actually a first for me. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just not going to push the Avatar forward 1 square. It's going to take me an extra turn, which is a bit slower, but there's not much we can do here. But that is basically the reason why I save every chapter, because if something bad happens, I don't want to jump back 3 chapters. So Crom is actually in a specific spot that he's not going to get attacked for the first 2 turns. So he's still safe. As long as we kill a boss right now, which is not something I had in mind. Shoot. I didn't think of that. Okay. That's funny. I have an idea. I would just like to stress the point that this has never happened before. We are going to use you. So we'll pair these guys up together so that when needed I can just move them fast. Okay, you know what? She's pretty useless to the run, so she's gonna die. I'm really sorry for the fans out there, but it has to happen. Wait, no, that's still not gonna work. Oh my god. Because now Crom's gonna die. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, we'll try that again. Alright, that should be good. So the reason the estimate is actually so high is because in case things like this happens, without dying, you can easily do this in, you can easily do this in like 37, 38 minutes. But this chapter in particular, along with like chapter 1, chapter 7, chapter 2 rather, chapter 7, a couple of other ones, are a big problems in the run. But we did get through it, as promised. Ooh, this might actually... No, never mind. We're good. So here we swap around a couple of guys for a reason in a sec. So this is another defeat boss chapter, and we're going to use Olivia with Shirsh, who can fly, and then Frederick on the avatar to gain one more movement. Oops. I either missed... No, I missed. There's no way I couldn't have killed him. If I don't have enough speed either, this is actually really bad. Oh yeah, 30 times Q. So oh crap, I'm bad. It's all good. So one thing is that if your tome breaks, you don't get a second attack. So that happened twice in a row. I'm just not paying enough attention. That's fine, that's easy to fix. There you go. Okay. For those of you who are paying attention, now enemies are going to start doing damage to us again. Because they're catching up to us. That's fine. Okay, got to chapter 18. This is another defeat boss chapter. This map is really like wide, so it's not that long. So all we need is the avatar and Olivia. We can basically waltz straight to the boss. So here's one of the only bosses that has a one-ranged weapon. So if we attack from range, he can't hit us. The fear isn't that he hits us, is that his sword has a special ability that there's a chance that if he hits us, he gains health again. So the fear is that we hit him once, he hits us, he gains health, and then we hit him again and he doesn't die, and then all our characters die because everyone's like level 6 while our avatar's level 20 promoted. So everyone just gets slaughtered, which is rather unfortunate. Hasn't happened to me yet, but it has to some people. No, we want to keep the Draco shields. Okay, so we're actually going to re-equip that. So as mentioned a bit earlier in the run, it's faster to use an item than to discard it. So one of the reasons why we use stat boosting items, apart from it boosting our stats, is that it's faster. Alright, so I actually don't have enough magic for a strat that we want to do on the final boss. One thing I'm going to do now, normally we do it later in the run, but I just want more stats because there have been enough scary moments as this run, is that at level 20, you can reclass to the same class at level 1. It's like that, you just get more stats. So we're going to do that right now. We just unequip everyone, use the second seal into Dark Flyer. We don't gain stats here, but since we're back at level 1, we can. Okay, so Q needs to go here. So Sairi is really important here. She has a lot of speed, so her avoid is really good. So she's gonna babysit Crom while the Avatar goes with Frederick to kill the boss. I need uses of that tome. Three. One. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're gonna hope that this boss dies to one hit, which he did not. Alright. My tome broke. So we don't need Sairi anymore. If she dies, that's fine, which she didn't. And we can't access the convoy. Okay, it's okay, we just saved. So we're gonna need something else. I'll use a javelin. That's fine. Our strength is actually surprisingly good right now. You're at level 1. Nope. You go here. Go here. So we're going to start out with the javelin for now. The reason we kill the assassins is because they have bows, and as mentioned earlier, especially this late in the game, bows are going to kill us. There's like no denying it. So we really don't want that to happen. I can also use my tome here. Okay, and the boss killed itself on us. Okay, this has been an adventure. Alright, chapter 22. We're doing really good on time though, so I'm not really worried about that. Should cut the estimate. I need magic though. So I'm actually going to go back. I should have picked up a magic tome at a shop there, but I didn't. So we're going to go do that right now.
What can I fix you with?
Okay, so this is chapter 23. Most people might remember this chapter because it was one of the harder ones in game. Actually, chapter 23, 24, and 25 are all pretty rough on the player, but no, we're good. Hopefully, we'll do fine. We get the two cons here who are quite useful. They're really strong, especially for late game units. We're actually going to use them in the next chapter. Oops. I want to do this. But we won't use them now because they don't have enough movement to be useful. I'm gonna re-equip this. So the assassins still are holding bows. There's still a chance I die here. Looks like I haven't yet, so that's nice. We have 30 magic. Alright, so that's what we need. The more magic we have, the better it is, but you can deal with 38 fairly easily. For those who are curious, our magic stat is 60%. So normally you don't get that unlucky, but I'm good at getting unlucky, it seems. Alright, 3 chapters left. We'll be fine. Nope. This one. So we gave Flavia an energy drop. There's one enemy, there's a chance that she doesn't kill. Oops. But we want her to. So a bit more strength makes it more consistent. And we give her an axe for a bit more damage output. Alright, so we didn't kill the enemy. That's fine. It's not the biggest time loss ever. So 42 magic is actually good. That's the highest that, or the highest that the strat that we're going to do is going to need. So what we're going to want to do is forge a Thoron Tome. So we already got one from, what am I doing? Yeah, so we got one from an enemy earlier, and we're going to forge it to have a bit more hit and as much critical hit as possible, and then get out of here. That's going to be useful for later. No, you. Oh my god, where's Olivia? You're right there. Okay. My menu is a bit different right now. That's fine. So this is another defeat boss chapter. We have Olivia and we have Gale Force. Oops. So it's not that tough to get to the end. And this is the last time we hit a Versa. Alright, so this is basically what the entire, forging the Thoron Tome using, or getting 42 magic, all that stuff, using a Dark Flower, comes up to. This is the final boss, and the toughest part of the game. So I need to have 1 critical hit and 3 normal hits for the final boss. If I don't, there's a good chance that I die. So we're just actually, oops, Spice 100 here. So I'm going to save. If I don't get what I want, I die, which is sad. I don't want that to happen, so we're going to cross our fingers and hope that doesn't happen. Oops. I forget if I'm in range there. No, I'm not. Okay. Go right here. So 14 damage times 2, and then I have a 30% chance to crit. So out of 4 hits, theoretically I should do it. There have been times where I haven't. If I do get 2 critical hits on the first hit, that's 1 round KO. So there's my crit. So all I need is 2 more normal hits, and we should be good. But luckily we have Olivia. Oops. Dance for us. Normally you wouldn't use Olivia here. You would just end turn and hope that you don't die, but for marathon purposes, we'll do this. So time's coming up right now, by the way. I'll say time in a sec. And we'll let Crumb have the kill, because he was very useful to us. Done. Dot done. Okay. And we killed God. The end. Alright, so that was Fire Emblem Awakening. Hope you guys enjoyed. The credits are about 15 minutes long, so I don't think we want to sit through all of them. But yeah, thanks for watching.